¿Qué pasó, güey? It's your homeboy Quetzalcoatl. Welcome back to the Fuck Your Life Boxing Show. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the fight that took place over the weekend between Austin Trout and Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo ends up winning a decision over Austin Trout and retains his IBF Junior Middleweight Championship. While it only appeared so on one of the judges' scorecards, I felt that this was a very close fight. I think that the fair decision would have been a draw. And you can make the argument that Austin Trout won this fight. Now, Jermall Charlo was able to get off to a good start in the first half of the fight. I think that he probably landed the harder, crisper shots, the shots that stood out most, because you could tell he was a harder puncher. And he was landing in combinations in that first half. But there were rounds in that first half that were close, depending on how you scored it. They could have gone either way. And I just think that the judges just didn't give credit to what Austin Trout was doing in the fight. In that second half, I saw Jermall Charlo fading. And that's when Austin Trout started being far more effective. He was landing in combination. He was getting off first. And granted, the shots he was landing weren't as hard as what Charlo was landing. But I thought he was racking up points in that second half. And the decision in the end, where it was a unanimous decision for Jermall Charlo, was pretty much boxing politics. Austin Trout was pretty much going to have to pull off a shutout or just knock Charlo out to win that fight. That's what he had to do. Because I think that the judges already had in mind who they were going to favor, and that was Charlo. But it is what it is. I feel bad for Austin Trout because he's had some bad luck in his big fights with the judges. Now, clearly he lost against Lara, but in that fight with Canelo, that was a very close fight. Really close fight. And there was a knockdown in that fight. He got dropped in that fight. He didn't get dropped here. He really didn't even get hurt in this fight. So I feel bad for him, man. But definitely want to see him fight again. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight against Jermall Charlo, who won a belt before this fight. And as I said in the other video, he was having problems against Jackson's movement. And I can see Austin Trout giving him those same problems. But just like in the fight with Jermall Charlo, are they going to give Austin Trout the credit if he does that to Jermall Charlo? So we'll see what happens for Austin Trout in the future. And you did hear all the boos going down. So I don't think I'm alone in my opinion that was, kind of a bullshit thing that the judges did. But props to Jermall Charlo nonetheless for retaining his belt. We'll see what the future holds for him. There's a lot of fights for him in the 154-pound division. He did say he was going to stay in that division because there were some thoughts about him going up to 160. There was some bullshit that happened afterwards where Don King brought in one of his bums and he ended up pushing Charlo, and it looked like some drama shit was going to go down, but I don't see a fight with one of Don King's bums going down. But who would you like to see Jermall Charlo fight next? What do you think about Austin Trout? Who do you want to see him fight? What did you think of this decision overall? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, if you like this shit, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. This is your homeboy Quetzalcoatl. Signing the fuck on out.